Welcome back to Northwest News. In this week's edition, we'll look at Northwest homecoming events this past weekend, a new restaurant that opened in Maryville, and more. You're watching Northwest News.
Thanks for tuning in to Northwest News, the show where we provide the latest coverage on the Northwest Missouri State University campus and in the Maryville community. I'm Wiley Ray.
And I'm Skyler Stamps. Before we get into this week's episode, be sure to hit that notification bell for the latest news coverage as well as other KNWT content.
This past weekend, Northwest held its 100th homecoming, and reporter Evan Jacobson talks to us about some of Northwest's homecoming traditions.
Last week, Northwest celebrated our 100th annual homecoming.
Today, we celebrate a milestone. 100 years of homecoming. It's a century of honoring our past, embracing our present, and inspiring our future.
The first ever official homecoming was held here in Maryville in 1924. The first homecoming included a social gathering at the Nottoway County Courthouse, a football game on Saturday, all followed by a dance held in the admin building gymnasium that Saturday evening. Today's homecoming looks a little different. The activities during homecoming week include the annual homecoming parade, the M Club Hall of Fame induction ceremony, a football game Saturday afternoon, donation creation contest where students on campus vote by leaving donated canned goods at their favorite display, Street Chalk, where students work on creative designs outside of the student union, a banner decorating contest where organizations decorate a banner and the winner is decided by who shows the most Bearcat pride and incorporates this year's homecoming theme the best, a homecoming variety show where individuals and organizations perform skits and musical acts. At the end of the show, the homecoming king and queen are announced. And of course, walkout day. The Northwest tradition is to cancel all classes during the Friday of homecoming week. There are some activities during walkout day that include the ringing of the bell of 48 and the annual international flag raising ceremony. This year, Northwest also honored the class of 1974 since it was their 50th year reunion. Some activities they planned for all alumni coming back included, on Friday, a welcome reception, reunion photo, campus bus tour, a lunch, attending the flag raising ceremony, a campus open house, and a 50th year reunion social. On the following day, a homecoming welcome, watched the homecoming parade, and they attended the Bearcat Zone pregame tailgate, of course followed by the Bearcat football game. Hope everyone enjoyed the many activities that campus provided last week. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Evan Jacobson, Northwest News.
A couple of those homecoming traditions are float and jalopy. We get a deeper dive into how sororities and fraternities prepare for the day of the parade by our reporter, Kendall Crawford.
This week, Northwest is celebrating its 100th homecoming. With homecoming comes the parade, an annual event that showcases talent from marching bands from across the state of Missouri, local businesses, and its students. The fraternity and sorority organizations on campus collaborate to participate in various events from float to donation creation to skit. I was able to get a sneak peek into what the week leading up to the parade looked like from a few members of Sigma Tau Gamma.
My name's Quinn Palmer. I'm the recruitment chair, I'm an IFC delegate, and I'm also the float head within the chapter. As a float head, I make sure that everyone shows up, get their hours done, and then I obviously construct a float. So I'll build with 2x4s and chicken wire, and then I have all of our chapter or members. They will fold up pieces of tissue paper, and then we glue those, and we create a float following the theme. So I make sure, kind of run the show, make sure everyone's doing their job, and I make sure that we get done in a timely manner. My least favorite part is definitely the time commitment. You're doing lots of hours. I probably put in 15 to 20 hours a week on this. There's a little conflict sometimes, but it all works out in the end of the day.
I was able to sit down with Chase Fitch, the chapter's homecoming chair, to hear about the most challenging and rewarding part about his role.
My name is Chase Fitch, and my role with SIGTAL is the homecoming coordinator. So basically I'm the head of everything right under our community engagement, and my role is basically making sure everyone's getting their hours in, and I oversee what's going on at the float sites, the Jalopy site, and I go to the homecoming committee, make sure everything's going perfectly fine, make sure we're communicating with them. The most challenging part would probably be like communication between us. Like that has been the most challenging part ever, just because everyone has to be on the same page, and when we're not, nothing's going to go smooth. But when we are, everything goes fine, and when we're working together, it makes life a lot easier on me especially. The most rewarding part would probably be like just getting it done and seeing what we drew out before everything started coming to fruition, honestly, because a lot of hard work everyone put in with both fraternity and sorority, it looks really, really good, and I can't wait to see it go down the parade.
Another major project for these organizations is Jalopy. I was able to swing by Sigma Tau Gamma and Alpha Sigma Alpha's Jalopy site and see what they had in the works.
I'm Riley Nelson. I'm the Sig Tau Jalopy head. Me and a couple of the other Jalopy chairs got together to decide that we wanted to make a World War II Jeep this year to recognize all of the students that went and fought in World War II that are recognized in the Roll of Honor in Volk. The Jalopy is a small vehicle you surround in 2x4s and chicken wire and palms. I'm excited to drive it in the parade and get to show it off to everyone.
Good luck to all organizations as they compete in the parade this Saturday, October 19th. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Kendall Crawford, reporting for Northwest News.
Also this past week, a new restaurant has opened up in Maryville. When we return, reporter Skyler Stamps tells us more. You're watching Northwest News.
Kirsten, what are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing here? Making TikToks? And it's not about what I do. It's about what we do here. So we start with storyboarding the content we want to create for our clients. It could be anyone from small businesses, nonprofits, and organizations both on campus and in the Maryville community. We write, we film, we edit, we create, and then we wait. So if you're someone who thinks you need us, we are KNWT Creative Services.
Television connects. We put our heart and soul into delivering a quality broadcast just for you. Whether it's sports, community events, and much more, we have fun bringing these events to you. KNWT Live brings that feeling of being at Northwest anywhere you go. So join us in the experience.
Thank you for sticking with us and welcome back to Northwest News. Last week, I had the opportunity to chat with one of the owners of Raku, Hibachi, and Sushi and what they plan to bring to the community. We covered a new knick-knack shop, Our House, here in Maryville, but now a new restaurant is now open. Raku, Hibachi, and Sushi opened on October 10th right across from Subway on Main Street. Raku offers hibachi, fresh sushi, ramen, and about everything in between. Raku owners say why they opened their new business here in Maryville.
I love cooking a lot. Back when I was in the middle school, I already told my parents that I want to grow up being a chef. But when I grew up, I think that being a chef is not enough. Something like, well, why don't I just try to make a restaurant, you know?
Raku is owned by Kuku along with his uncle and cousin. The restaurant mainly serves Japanese foods, with their most popular items being any type of ramen, chicken hibachi, and their wide selection of fresh sushi. Customers no longer have to drive an hour just for hibachi or the fresh sushi.
To look for hibachi or sushi, I think the closest they can get is on the Hy-Vee. And then if you want to get some fresh sushi, maybe you have to go to St. Joe or you have to go to Kansas City. And that's like 1 hour and a half drive, and that's take too long.
The Maryville community isn't the only thing Raku has had an impact on.
It was such a blessing that, having the opportunity to have a restaurant, and then as for myself, it was something that I never dreamed of, but eventually it was became a reality.
Cuckoo says that they are looking to have a college night where Northwest students will be able to get discounted meals. The date is still to be determined. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Skyler Stamps reporting for Northwest News.
To learn more, follow their Facebook at Raku Hibachi and Sushi Maryville. Stay tuned for the date of their upcoming college night.
One club on campus has been winning numerous games from the comfort of their gaming chair. Reporter Wiley Ray takes us to the Esports Lounge on campus to tell us more about the club and how they compete.
The Northwest Esports Club helps find gamers their game of interest from the moment you step in the door.
Any game that any student wants to be a part of or just play games, we want to offer that experience, whether that's on console, whether that's on PC, and whether that's even if the student has ever even played a game before. We want to make sure that if a student wants to come in, even if they have no experience playing games, they can come in and just play anything they want to. So there's not one particular game that we sought out for our casual experience, but we just want to make sure there's always a sense of community for every student here.
If you're interested in playing competitively, the Northwest Esports Club gives you that opportunity to try out.
We always have an open trial for anyone to join. You don't necessarily have to be the best of best players. We see the opportunity to grow our own talent. There are a lot of esports programs that just recruit the best talent, and that's kind of what they're known for. I wanted our esports program to be known for recruiting talent, but building talent too. So we have a varsity team and an academy team, and both of those teams earn scholarships. So we build those players on the academy team to hopefully take the spots of varsity players once they graduate. The org fair is definitely one of those big things. What we tried to do this year and what we're going to move forward with is an esports open house. We did that earlier this year and we had over 150 students at that. And we ordered like 20 pizzas and they were gone in like 30 minutes. So, and we gave away a PS5 and I think that's a really cool opportunity. I want to give those opportunities out more. So look forward to those because that's what we're going to be doing. Northwest Esports is all gaming in general, whether that's just casual gaming, whether that's even board games or card games. We have students within our esports club that even do that. We want to make sure that gaming is for everyone and that if you come into our space, you can interface with our program. So I just want to reiterate that if you want to get involved with our program, you can definitely do so with zero experience.
For more information about the Northwest Esports Club, you can join the Discord or contact Andrew Murphy. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Wiley Ray, reporting for Northwest News. Be sure to check out the Northwest Esports Club via Instagram at NWBearcatEsports_. And if you are interested in joining or learning more about the club, contact Andrew Murphy for more information.
Up next, we'll check out KNWT's live broadcast from Saturday of the Northwest Homecoming Parade. You're watching Northwest News.
Running since 1971, broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Featuring programs and news from National Public Radio, as well as Americana, jazz, and classical music. KXCV 90.5 FM Maryville, KNRW 88.9 FM Chillicothe.
Finger paints. Water. Egg. Glue. Glitter. By golly, it's perfect.
What is it?
It's loosely related. Thursdays at noon.
Welcome back to Northwest News, the place where you can find news and whereabouts on what's happening in the Northwest and Maryville community. Thanks Thanks for sticking with us.
Last Saturday, KNWT held their annual live broadcast of the Northwest Homecoming Parade. Now we're going to take a look at their Missourian Homecoming Week coverage.
And someone that kind of does the overview of everything that's going on is the Northwest Missourian, which is our student-ran newspaper here at Northwest. And every year they have an edition dedicated solely to homecoming, kind of giving you a rundown of everything that goes on with that. So for a little more on the Missourian, we'll talk to Hannah Claywell with the Missourian. So take it away, Hannah.
This past week, the Missourian released our annual 2024 Homecoming Guide, where we celebrated Northwest's 100th homecoming, as well as discussed the international flag-raising ceremony held on campus yesterday. Taking a look back at the 1920s, Northwest hosted its very first homecoming in the year 1924. In honor of this milestone, the homecoming theme is a century of homecomings, or decades. Junior Riley Steele, the executive chair for Homecoming Royalty and the Variety Show, says this year's theme is special in its connection to the first homecoming 100 years ago. He says each student organization has chosen a decade to depict during festivities throughout the weekend. Each group is able to represent that decade through their respective parade floats, dancing clown routines, or variety show skits, among other events. Riley says, "I think the 100th homecoming symbolizes all of the progression that Northwest has made within the past 100 years. I think this theme is so special to us because it kind of shows that Northwest started from a point and we can kind of see it progress throughout the years." In other news, the Missourian took a look at the international flag-raising ceremony that was held yesterday in the Ron Houston Performing Arts Center. Despite being moved from its traditional location of the International Flag Plaza, the event followed a parade of students carrying the flag of their country of origin from the B.D. Owens Library to the Performing Arts Center. The first ever international flag-raising ceremony happened 26 years ago in 1998 with its initial purpose to pay tribute to the completion of the Joyce and Harvey White International Flag Plaza earlier that same year. The plaza was built to celebrate Northwest students and alumni who have come from all over the world. For more on these stories, be sure to check out nwmissourinews.com online or pick up a paper out of the boxes on campus. Make sure to check us out on Instagram or X at The Missourian and Facebook at Northwest Missourian for updates on current events and more. And now back to Tyrell and Skyler for more 100th homecoming content.
Well, thank you so much, Hannah, for a brief look at kind of what the Missourian puts on for homecoming specifically. They are a bi-weekly newspaper that gives you the basic rundown of kind of what happened throughout the week, whether it be sports, the debates in Springfield, anything like that. They're the people to go to kind of encompass everything with it.
If you were unable to attend the parade, KNWT has the full broadcast uploaded on our YouTube channel.
Well, that's all the time we have for Northwest News. Be sure to go to the description below to rewatch certain sections of our show.
And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest news and updates. This has been Northwest News. Thanks for watching.